Good morning. Thanks for tuning in. My name's Hayley. Thanks for joining on this beautiful, beautiful morning. It's just so refreshing. Feels like a fall day, which I love, especially after all of this hot heat that we've been having. So I have a cool little breeze on me right now. So we're going to get started lying down on our backs, and you can come into Supta Baddha Konasana, so reclined bound angle pose. Draw the heels together, knees can fall wide, and then just resting upper body on the earth. And take your time to arrive to that space. You can place one hand on the belly, one hand on the chest. Begin by inhaling through the nose, opening the mouth, let it out. Again, inhaling through the nose. And open the mouth to let it all out. One more time through the nose. Exhale, H-A-Ha. You can seal the lips now. Feel the breath at the back of the throat, sort of making a hissing sound. Like you're fogging up a mirror with the breath. Start to bring your attention to the places that your body is touching the earth. So where do you feel the earth supporting the body? Notice how you can just maybe let go a little bit more once you've come to this realization that the earth is supporting you and you're not just on top of the earth. You fully let go, and fully melt down like a puddle, letting the earth catch you below you. And hopefully the breath has started to slow down a little bit. You're trying to mirror your exhales to your inhales, so allowing the breath on either side to be the same length, same width. Next inhale, start to slowly unravel, reach the arms overhead. Full body stretch, reach the toes in the opposite direction. Maybe it's the first stretch of your day. I know it's mine, so it just feels so good right now. Just to pause, stretch out the core. We're going to be doing quite a bit of core warm up here in just a bit. Just soaking in these moments. You're creating space in the body by stretching, pulling, breathing. And then keep the arms as they are. Hug the knees into the chest. So tuck and lift the tailbone just a little bit. Find that activation of the belly, the powerhouse, the core. Pull the belly button in and up. Take a deep inhale here. On our next exhale, we'll start to peel the shoulder blades off the earth. Reach the fingertips to the front of the room. Inhale, release the arms overhead. And then exhale. Lift yourself up, curling into a ball. Inhale to reach. Exhale to curl. Activating the belly. Inhale, reach. Exhale, curl and round. One more time, just like this, reach. This time, curl. And then we'll draw the knees over the hips, so legs are kind of at a 90-degree angle. Take an inhale, reach the arms overhead. And then exhale, hug the knees into the chest again. Inhale, align the knees over the hips, reach the arms overhead. Exhale to crunch. So you're really activating the low belly now. Core should start to feel warm. Inhale, reach, knees over hips. Exhale to crunch. Once more like this. Inhale. Exhale and crunch. This time, lengthen the legs. Reach the arms and legs in opposite directions. Hover the legs, hover the shoulders. Exhale, crunch. Legs long, arms long, reach to the top of the room. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale and crunch. Twice more just like this. Inhale. Exhale. Inhaling. Exhaling, crunch. This time, slowly lower down. Use your core. Release the legs, release the arms. Full body stretch. Let the head rock side to side if there's any crunching in the neck. And then we'll plant the feet down on the earth. Plant the hands next to the hips like you're setting up for bridge pose. Deep inhale here to prepare. Exhale, press the hips to the top of the room, just hanging out here for a couple of moments. Stretching out the front line of your body. Starting to warm up the legs. Breath in to hold. Breath out, slowly release down onto the back. Draw the knees in line with the hips. Arms come out to a T. And then slowly lower the legs off to the left side, just coming into a gentle supine twist. Doesn't have to be super deep, but stretching out the obliques, the outer hips. And then draw the knees through center. Let the legs fall over to the opposite side. Maybe the gaze shifts over to the left or to the right. Hugging the knees to chest. Take the hands behind the knees and start a slow rock up and down the spine. You can take as many rocks that feels nice on the back. And then we'll meet in a table pose. Cross over the shins, ankles, or knees underneath the hips, wrists, shoulders width underneath the shoulders. And then arriving here, draw some circles of the upper body. Adding a little bit more light here. So warming up the hands, preparing for flexion of the wrists. And then releasing in the opposite direction. Back through center, a couple of rounds of cat and cows here. On your next breath in, heart draws forward, lift through the crown of the head, sink the belly. Breath out, tuck the chin, round the spine. Inhale, heart forward. Exhaling, round through the upper, the mid, the low back. Inhaling to your cow. Exhaling to your cat. Breath in, forward. Breath in, round. Or breath out, round. Keep flowing on your own just for a couple more cycles. We'll meet back through table pose. Flip the fingertips to face the knees. Sink the hips just a little bit back. Just stretching out the backs of the wrists. And then you can stay in this position or take a little micro bend of the elbows. Lengthen one leg, maybe stay there. Maybe lengthen the other. So you're in a high plank with your hands reversed. So if this is too much, if you're feeling this in any area that's causing pain, backing out, coming down onto the knees. Pull the belly button in and up. Keep the gaze right between the wrists. One more inhale here. Exhale to release. Flip the fingertips towards one another, wrists point out. You can take a deep bend in the elbows. If you would like a little bit more, lengthen the arms, maybe draw the hands into a fist. So most advanced in the sense of most intense. Doesn't mean you're any less of a yoga student. Just choosing your intensity, your own depth, whatever feels best, no pressure to be anything other than what feels best for you. Release the hands down. Round a cat and cow here just to flush out the wrists, flush out the spine once more. And then tucking the toes, lift the hips back up in space. Downward facing dog. And adding in some movement to your space. Just feeling into the backs of the legs, the spine, the hands, the shoulders. And then find some stillness. We'll lift to the toes, lift the heels, Bend through the knees, sink the hips back, and draw the chest to the tops of the thighs. So finding that length in the spine. See if you can press through the thumbs. Reach the sits bones up a little higher. Find a little more space between each vertebrae. And then slowly lower down onto the knees. Coming up to kneeling. Start to reach the right fingertips back, just kind of coming into a half camel. Reach the left fingertips overhead. Press the hips forward, so just a little micro back bend. And then travel the fingers through center, and then switch sides. Left hand might touch the left heel, so this doesn't have to be incredibly deep, but just starting to warm up the spine. Keep flowing side to side. Toes can be tucked if that feels better. Maybe close the eyes, just dance this out. Feel the side body starting to create more space there. Feel the lungs grow wider and fuller. One more time, either side. And then we'll meet back in a downward facing dog once you're finished. Inhale to lift the heels, and then we'll drop the heels over to the left side. Bend through the left knee, gaze shift underneath the right armpit. Inhale, lift the heels through center. Exhale, drop the heels over to the right, bend through the right knee, gaze underneath the left armpit. Inhale, heels through center. Keep the heels as high as you can, tiptoe the toes all the way forward. Let the feet land about hips width. Let's take hands to opposite triceps. Generous bend in the knees. Sway the upper body. Low back soft. Play with shifting the weight to the toes, to the heels. Notice where you feel the lengthening of the hamstrings the most. And just exploring your own body. Release the fingertips down. Just sway the fingertips back and forth, sort of like paint brushes. And then coming through center. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, hands to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, Uttanasana to fold. Slowly roll the spine up to standing, top of the head last to rise. And then sweeping the arms overhead. Exhale, hands draw through heart center. Inhale to sweep the arms. This time, cactus the arms, press the hips, press the heart forward. And then releasing the hands, forward fold, halfway lift. Plant your palms, step your way back, downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet here just for a moment. Inhale to lift the heels. Exhale, lower the heels off to the left. Bend through the left knee. We've been here before. Inhale through center. Exhale, lower the heels off to the right. Bend the right knee. Inhale, rise. Exhale, sink the heels. One more time, lift the heels, bend through the knees. Wave the spine forward, high plank here. Let's take a moment here just to find our foundation. So fingers are wide. Press into the thumb, so stay even through the hands. Keep the hips in line with the shoulders. Take a full breath in to shift the weight forward. Exhale, let's just lower halfway and then press back up on your exhale. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale to lower. Inhale here. Exhale, press up. So warming up the triceps. Inhale, forward. One more time. Exhale, lower halfway. Take a full inhale. Use your core. Press yourself up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Full inhale here. Exhale to stick out the tongue, release. One more time, inhale. Exhale, release. Round the body forward, high plank. Exhale, lower halfway or to the belly. Cobra or up dog if you are ready. Exhale, hips lift back up in space. Downward facing dog. Breath in, lift the right heel to the sky. Bend the knee, stack the hip. So let your heel hang by the right glute. Maybe play with shifting the weight to the right fingertips, opening through the right hip, top of the right leg a little more. And then drawing the knee to the nose. Inhale, three-legged. Bend the knee, stack the hip. Exhale, forward, draw the knee to the nose. Inhale, three-legged, bend the knee, stack. One more time, draw the knee to the nose. Pause, push the earth away. Hug the heel to the glute. And then step the foot next to the right thumb. Stay on fingertips. Lower the left knee. Keep the toes tucked. Inhale. Press your heart forward. Exhale to hold. One more inhale here. On your next exhale, lift the left knee, lift the hips back, lengthen the right leg, and melt over the front shin. Land the left knee, bend through the right knee. Take your left hand down. Right fingers trace the sky. And then using your core to lift you up. Take this into an open twist. Maybe right fingers come behind the left thigh. Left fingers reach overhead. Full inhale, reach through the fingers. Exhaling, draw the left shoulder to the right hip. Release the hands on the inside of the right foot. Start to crawl the fingers forward. And keep the chest lifted, so getting a little deeper in the inner thighs. Notice what's happening in the face. Can you soften through the jaw, through the tongue? And crawling the hands back in. Start to pivot your weight to the back of your mat. Sink the hips towards the left heel, right leg. Shoot straight. Take the hands to your heart. Sink the hips a little deeper. Stay long through the spine. Embrace your inner smile. Travel the hands through center. Hands underneath the shoulders. Draw the toes in, heels out. Take an inhale, halfway lift. On your exhale, folding into your wide-legged forward fold. And then planting through the hands. Left hand underneath the face, right fingers rise, taking a twist here. And then replacing the right hand with the left, or the left hand with the right hand. Left fingertips will rise to the top of the room. Release the hands. Start to walk your way forward. Standing splits, top of the mat. Full inhale to lengthen the head to the front of the room. Exhale to release, fold. One more time, inhale, lengthen. Exhaling to release over the standing leg. And then we'll lower the left foot next to the right. Draw the big toes together, little space between the heels, sink the hips, rise the arms. Utkatasana chair pose. Sink a little deeper here. Full inhale. On your exhale, open twist to the right side. Draw the left fingers forward. Keep the hips squared. Keep the weight in the heels. Inhale through center. Exhale, open twist to the left. Notice if the right knee wants to shift forward. Draw the left hip forward, right hip back. Inhale through center. Exhale, rise up to standing. Hands draw to heart. Inhale to sweep the fingertips to the sky. Exhale, cactus, and fold forward. Halfway lift. Exhale to step, hop, maybe float through a chaturanga. Take your time to arrive to your downward facing dog. Peel the heels off the earth. Come to the balls of the feet. Shift the weight or shift the heels over to the right. Side body stretch again. Inhale through center. Exhale, side body stretch on the left side. Let the heels fall to the left. Inhale through center. Exhale, wave the body forward. Lower through your chaturanga. We'll meet in a downward facing dog. Lift the left heel, bend the knee, stack the hips. And then on your next exhale, actually let's hang out here. I want to come to left fingertips. So maybe that gets you into your opening a little bit more. So I'm not too worried about keeping the shoulders squared like we usually are. And then you can press back into the left palm. Draw the knee to the nose, round. Inhale, three-legged bend and stack. Exhale, knee to nose. One more time, inhale up. Exhale, knee to nose, pause. Squeeze the leg to the nose. And then step the foot next to the left thumb. Lower the right knee. Stand fingertips to lift the heart forward. Exhaling to hold. One more inhale. On your next exhale, lift the right knee, lift the hips. Your modified pyramid pose. And then we'll land through the right knee. Right hand down, left fingertips graze the sky. Twisting the right shoulder over to the right knee. Use your core to lift you up. I'm going to do an open twist. Maybe left fingertips find the back of the right thigh. Right fingertips reach for the back of the room. Make sure to keep the right shoulder soft, so avoid any crunching. Full breath in. Exhale to draw the right shoulder to the left hip. See if that can twist you a little more. Release the hands on the inside of the left foot. Start to crawl the fingers a little bit further in front of you, maybe about a foot in front of the left toes. Just sitting here, finding some stillness. Notice how the right hip flexor might feel. Now's a great time to check in with any areas you're holding tension. Maybe it's your breath, your lungs. Maybe your jaw needs a little wiggle. You're going to start to crawl yourself to the back of the mat, pivot the feet. Hips sink down to the right heel, left leg long. Draw the hands to your heart. Think about reaching your sits bones down to your mat and reaching the crown of the head to the sky. Plant through the hands. Lengthen through both legs. Draw the toes in, heels spin out. Inhale to a halfway lift. Weight is in the toes. And on your exhale, take this into your wide-legged forward fold. So if you want to work an inversion, if that's a part of your practice, if you're feeling ready for it, feel free to work that. Just about 5 more cycles of breath here to hang out. Now come back onto your fingertips. Take the right hand underneath the face. Left fingertips reach to the top of the room. Twisting here. Maybe working a half bind this time. And then release. Switching out the hands. Right fingers. Rise. Option to take a half bind. Release the arms. Plant the hands underneath the face. And then walk yourself to the front of the room. Pivot the toes, all 10 toes forward. Standing splits, lift the right heel. Take an inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale to fold. One more time to lengthen. Exhaling, fold. Just hold here. See if you can lift the right heel a little bit higher. And then we'll land the right toes next to the left. Sink the hips. Utkatasana. See if you can sink a little deeper. Full breath in. On your exhale, open twist to the left. Keep the left knee and right knee square. Inhaling through center. Exhale, open twist to the right. Take a look down at the knees. Make sure the toes aren't gripping. Inhale, center. Exhale, just sink an inch deeper. One more breath in. Exhale to rise. Hands draw through heart. Pausing here. Find the hands, the thumbs to our heart center. Close the eyes. Feel the heartbeat. Feel this deep connection with your body right here, right now. And honing back into your breath. Finding your steady beat, steady rhythm. Start to flutter the eyes open. Sweep the arms overhead. And then exhale, cactus, and press the hips forward. And take your full halfway lift. Exhale, Uttanasana. Plant the hands. Step, hop, float. Chaturanga, Dandasana. Inhale to lift the heels. Drop the heels over to the left side. Inhale through center. Drop the heels over to the right. Lifting up through center. Exhale, lower the heels. This time, inhale, wave the body forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Point the toes, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, hips lift. Downward facing dog. Full inhale. Full exhale. Sweep the right toes high. Exhaling, step the foot next to the right thumb. This time, stay high on the left knee. Inhale, heart forward. Just one time here. Exhale, lift the hips back. Next, inhale, bend through the right knee. Sweep the arms overhead. Crescent warrior. Vinyasa, high lunge. And your breath. On your next exhale, we'll take this into warrior two pose. So land the left heel. Sink into the front thigh. And driving into all four corners, both feet. Find your foundation. Find stillness. Next, inhale, reverse your warrior. Right knee stays bent. And your next exhale, side angle pose. You can take this into a half or full bind if you want to work it there. Like any variation, maybe one hand floats, maybe both can float. Wherever you are, stay elevated through the right side of the body. Keep the chest broad. Keep the breath steady. Slowly release wherever you're taking this. And then we'll draw this back to our Skandasana, back of the mat, right leg long. Draw the left fingertips open, right fingers to the sky. Either stay here, take a half or full bind. Hands interlaced behind the small of the low back. And walking the hands through center to the front of the mat this time. This time, three-legged dog. Bend the knee, open the hip. Either stay here, take this into your wild thing. And then landing back in your downward facing dog. This time we'll take this onto our forearms. Dolphin pose. Lift to the toes, lift the heels, bend the knees. Start to tiptoe your toes in towards the elbows. Press into the thumbs, into the forearms. Find your base, and then lengthen the legs. If you can, I am a little tight this morning, so this is a lot for me, so I'm going to hang out with soft knees. Keep the gaze at the back of the room. Keep the chest pressing towards the tops of the thighs. And then next exhale, you'll press into the palms, lift to your down dog. Inhale, wave the body forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Full round of breath in. Full round of breath out. Lift the left heel. Bend the knee, open the hip. Actually, let's lower the foot down. That's totally not what we did on the other side. I don't like that. Let's lift the heels. Land the heels over to the right, bend through the right knee. Inhale through center. Exhale, land the heels over to the left, gaze under the right arm. Inhale again through center. Exhale, lower the heels, stretch through the legs. Breath in takes you into your high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Moving through your vinyasa. We'll meet in a downward facing dog. Sweep the left heel high. Draw the knee to the nose. And step the foot through. Again, staying on fingertips. Draw the heart forward. This time, exhale, hips lift. Lengthen the leg. Lifting from your core. Rising up to standing. Anjaneyasana, high lunge. Pause here for a moment. And on your next exhale, landing through the right heel. Open yourself out. Virabhadrasana 2. Reverse your warrior. And taking this into your side angle, just moving from the core. Take a half or full bind. And releasing the hands. Walk the hands to the back of the mat. Skandasana. You can work a half or full bind here. Release the hands to the front of the mat. Pivot the feet. Three-legged dog. Bend the left knee, stack the hip. Either stay here or take this into a wild thing. Coming through your down dog. One more time, taking a dolphin pose. So we'll lower down onto the forearms. Bend through the knees, come to the toes. Tiptoe a little closer to the elbows as much as you can. Then lengthen the knees. Lift the sits bones up higher. Draw the chest back to the top of the thigh. 2 more cycles of breath here. You got this. Keep pressing into the palms, into the forearms. And then at the same time, press into the hands to lift the elbows. Downward facing dog. Inhaling, roll the body forward. Chaturanga. Point the toes, cobra or up dog. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Let's land the knees wide, big toes draw together. Take a wide-legged child's pose, Vinyasa. If you want to take a little break off of the shoulders, you can reach the hands next to the thighs. And release the hands out in front of you. Getting in downward facing dog for a moment. Roll the body forward. We're going to take 3 tricep push-ups like we did at the beginning of class. Notice how they might feel a little bit different. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower halfway. Hold, breath in. Exhale on the effort, press away. Downward facing dog, release. Inhale, forward. Exhale, lower halfway. Full breath in. Exhale, press up. Downward facing dog. One more time, inhale, forward. Exhale, lower. Breath in. Breath out, press the ground away, downward facing dog. This time we'll roll forward. Last time here, we're gonna lower all the way down to our belly with control. Release to the tops of the feet. Reach the hands back. Let's interlace the hands behind the low back. Roll the shoulders down the spine, then peel the chest off the earth. Then lift the femurs, point the toes. Loka Shalabhasana. Breath can rock the body. If you want to release the hands, take traditional Shalabhasana, feel free. And then when you're ready, release one cheek onto the mat. Let your heels fall to the outside edges of the mat. And you can wiggle the hips side to side, releasing the lumbar spine. And then we'll take a cactus of our arm. Press the left hand underneath the left shoulder, bend through the left knee. Spin to the right side of the body. Left toes might touch behind the right leg, my bad. If it's too much on the right shoulder to cactus, you can take the arm out to a T. Releasing through center. Take this on the opposite side. Left arm out. Cactus or T, and then roll onto the left side. Right toes can touch behind the left leg. And rolling back through center. Taking one more locust variation. If you want to take bow, you can bend the knees, grab the feet if you're ready for that. Not just taking any arm variation you're looking for. If you want them out in front, maybe interlace the hands, maybe just next to the hips. Next, inhale, peel the chest. Reach the fingertips back if they're forward. Keep reaching energetically through the fingertips. Lifting through the legs, lift through the toes, reach through the crown of the head. All these different energetic points of the body. And then releasing, press yourself down or back into a child's pose. And then rolling onto your shins. And sitting onto your sits bones. And press into the feet. Press into the hands behind the hips. We'll take a reverse table pose. Inhaling to lift the hips to the sky. And then we'll draw the right leg over the left thigh, holding here. Pressing the right leg down. Keep the gaze at the top of the room. And then we'll lower the sits bones down. You can walk the left foot in if you want a little bit more of a outer hip stretch of the right leg. Either stay still. It feels nice to rock back and forth. Working out any last little bits of pockets of tension in the hip area. And then pressing into the hands again. Press into the left foot, lift the hips up high with the foot crossed still. And then release the right foot down, lift the hips up higher, just pausing here. And then cross the left ankle over the right. Press here, left knee lower, right hip higher. And then lowering down onto the sits bones. You can adjust the hands if you need to. And then find your figure four that works best for your body. When you're ready, pressing into the hands, into the right foot. Lift the hips up high again. Releasing both feet, hips to the sky. One more time here. And then exhale. Lowering down. Sweep the arms over or to the front of the room. Tuck the chin round the spine. Slowly make your way onto your backside. Draw the knees to the armpits, happy baby pose. And then we'll land the arms out to a cactus. Lift the hips off to the right. Let the legs fall bent or straight over to the left. Press the right hip forward. And each little centimeter of space along the right side body as you press the hip forward. Knees travel through center. Lift the hips off to the left. The legs fall over to the right. I'm trying to stay rooted through the left shoulder blade. So notice if you lift it, you're coming out of the twist. So trying to keep it rooted, even if that means you're legs don't fall as deep on the right side. You'll notice how that little adjustment keeps you deeper in the twist, even if it doesn't seem like you're deep. Hug the knees one more time through center. Adjust the hips. Keep the shoulder, or keep the spine long. And then when you're ready, releasing into your Shavasana. So legs long, hands can rest next to your body. And begin to find that ease. So no effort here. Just letting the body be heavy, letting gravity do the rest of the work. Take a little scan of the body, starting from a space above the head. All the way down to the space below the feet. Letting that wash over the body like a wave. And then when you're done with your scan, just releasing any last ounce of tension the body has. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope that you can stay here in your Shavasana for about 5 to 10 minutes before you start the rest of your day. But intuitively guiding yourself out of your practice and really focusing on not rushing from one moment to the next. So allowing yourself enough time to transition mindfully. Namaste.